Hi, this is Jack Daulton. I'm still traveling around the world. I'm in South Africa now at a site just outside of Johannesburg known as the Sterkfontein Caves.
Which is part of the Cradle of Humankind, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And it's distinguished for being the place where more fossil remains of early humans, hominids, have been found than at any other site on the planet. You know, Roz, we're standing on a bed of limestone, a huge deposit of limestone, an artifact of the fact that 2.5 billion years ago, more or less, this was actually an inland sea. And about 20 million years ago, after the sea had long gone, water began to seep through the limestone and create caves. And after that, animal and human remains began to fall into the caves, get deposited in the caves.
Which is why we're able to find it in modern times.
Exactly. At the end of the 19th century, the 1890s, miners came to these caves in this part of South Africa, and they were looking for lime, a common calcium carbonate, a common deposit. The stuff that caves are made of, these types of caves, is found here, and that substance is used in the processing of gold. And of course, this area in South Africa is rich with gold mines. Along the way in the 1890s, while they were excavating the lime from these caves, the calcium carbonate, they encountered fossils, and they sold them to tourists and took them home as souvenirs. Then in the 1930s, 1936 in particular, the first professional or scientific excavations of fossil remains in these caves began. In 1936 specifically, a paleoanthropologist by the name of Dr. Robert Broom came to the caves and performed the first excavations here. And in 1936, the year he came here, he was rewarded with a spectacular find. The second fossil remains of an early hominid, an early human, a proto-human, Australopithecus africanus, was found here. The town baby, the first fossil remains of Australopithecus africanus was found in northwest South Africa
by Raymond Dart
in 1924. That was an infant. That find was important because in 1924 because it first showed that, or supported the theory that early humans had arisen in Africa, not in Europe or Asia, as had been,
which was the popular opinion
at the time. So Raymond Dart, who theorized this, was vilified at the time by people who followed the doctrinaire position that early humans had arisen in Europe and Asia.
The findings at this cave actually really vindicated his position.
Yeah, Robert Broom in 1936 with his find of an adult fossil specimen, and in 1947 with additional fossil specimens of I can't say that today. Of early humans, vindicated or supported Dart's find and Dart's theory that early humans had arisen in Africa ultimately became accepted by most scientists around the world. Now, Roz, we just
walked through the caves.
And it was quite a spectacular and amazing experience, wasn't it?
Yes. In fact, one of the first things we walked past was the site where they had found the skeleton that they're calling Little Foot. And in fact, the excavations are still going on. We heard scientists working on it.
Yes, and that's an excavation that's been overseen by Ronald Clark, a professor at Wit University in Johannesburg. And it's quite an important excavation as well. Primarily, well, for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is it's probably the most complete early human skeleton ever found in Africa. They think it's even more complete than Lucy, the great find in Ethiopia.
Yeah, and I think our guide just told us that sometime next year, Dr. Clark said he would have the complete skeleton excavated.
And he believes that's maybe an entirely new species of early hominid, contemporaneous with the finds made by Dart and Robert Broom.
Mm-hmm.
So excavations continue here, and they've been ongoing continuously since 1966. In fact, this is the longest continuous paleoanthropological excavation site in the world, they claim. And so it's quite fascinating and exciting to be here. You and I have been to other paleoanthropological sites.
Yes, including Olduvai.
Olduvai in Tanzania.
And Lake Turkana.
In Kenya. And so this provides a very interesting comparison to the work that's been done there. We're moving on now, going back to Johannesburg, where
we're going to go to the Origin Center.
The Origin Center, which is a museum devoted specifically to the origins, the early beginnings of human beings, Homo sapiens in Africa. So that should be quite a good complement to our visit, our exploration of these caves. The Sterkfontein Caves, part of the World Heritage Site known as the Cradle of Humankind. Thank you very much.